It's almost the end of support of Google on Windows 10, and welcome back to Comic Studio once again. Of course, that wasn't going to be for such as well, but things have just completely worked on Microsoft Edge, and that I just completely find out as well. But nothing could able to be solving this for only one possible as well, as we're going to be scrolling down. And yes, that we're going to be finding one of the worst comic creators like themselves. So, the first thing we just absolutely having for one things as well. But first off, we're going to be finding as well for some sort of the worst of some sort of like this. There is going to be for one things, of course, but today we're going to be doing something pretty worse that I'm never able to be mentioned for round of these things as well. And of course, there must be Spider-Man comic studio around here for this. And I'm probably not very sure we're going to be getting for Lost Media later, as I'm going to be clicking around here and we're probably going to be seeing this as well. So let's start around for this thing as well. And it was absolutely the worst things that we ever seen as well. This could be the one for one thing as well that we probably say. Thankfully, the April Fool's Days are officially over. It's May 2nd, and I probably never able to be finding whatsoever for like this. Even though this is absolutely for one main character, of course. There's Toonie, there's Hardy, Stars, Mental, Ron, Clover, and Blame Man. What is absolutely nothing to do this as well. It's probably herself, nothing probably owned as well, because this is absolutely for a 5% chance of inappropriacy, and nothing whoever that we're going to be find this out. And a whole background situation like this could be only one. So let's review the characters for starter ground here first. And everything wasn't probably translated or transparent for this thing as well. We contained spoilers, as we probably turn off for this thing as well. Starting with herself, I guess that images have just loaded extremely slow. Probably it's absolutely a 10-year-old gal who extremely loves Freeze, or the Freas. She's the bestie of Toonville, or she's the besties with Toon Vibe. So probably this is absolutely for one disclaimer for any all other kinds of like these things as well. The reason age gap is a minor. So probably for the first thing is old design. Another one for the new design who got transparent, but probably not. The older transparent was actually for even this, but things have just aren't going to be even to do so as well. Unfortunately, Donald Trump does not going to be accept for any drawings as well for the proper way. He gained knowledge against everyone as well for the Christianity like this. And by the way, he's coming to get you, or the government is gonna be coming to get you by itself for one reason. I'm gonna have to turn on for the spoilers on and turn ridiculously evil as well as a monster. So this is absolutely for the McCown's inner demon. I'm not pretty sure this isn't going to be for such as well. But the new drawing regulations that Trump did was actually after the TikTok ban, and absolutely for one thing isn't going to be for such as one. Not of course. Another one is Toonie, a little guy who is creative and Lovis drawing. He's bestest with Kawaii Koa, and not going to be try to do this as well, because another one is also probably a minor, and which is a little bit ugly as well. So that was kind of an ugly way for around here. A Kill Bunny Rabbit, who also made to the other sprites for the Bonus Gang comic studio. She's very nice, but I'm not very sure this isn't going to be for around here. Eventually, it was a lied, and yes, it was absolutely 11 years old, of course. And probably another one is for stars. Cool kid, very, very honorable mention. And do not do to him from anyone. Everything is a minor. From every characters as well. Probably that was absolutely for honorable mention, which means him. Another one is the mental. Could be for exactly how weird it is as well. Not pretty beautiful enough, but unfortunately, that's a little bit ugly as well. Unbeautiful, not beautiful grunge looking gal. And it's an also 11-year-old person. I'm not very sure. This is not a real person because that was gonna be for her drawing. At least we're going to be reviewing Ron, and I'm probably very sure this isn't going to be for around here for sometimes as well. We turn on for some sprites. He looks pretty old, but aren't cute anymore for this thing as well. Nikki is a friend of Loze, a 29-year-old. Nikki is a friend of Loze, a 20-year-old for one here. I'm not very sure. It could be a 29-year-old guy, the oldest in the comic studio, because he was a little bit old. Because don't ever do this with minors or his sister. Yes, because he's absolutely for a grown man, but nothing is absolutely going to be finding out whenever it is. It turns out, it turns into some kind of monster like this, and I'm now pretty sure he is looking old, and he probably looked like for a 75-year-old guy. I never probably to see this like before to do this as well. There is nothing around here for this thing as well, for the clover as well. And I'm not very sure. For another one, for his cousin, could be for around this or not for around here for this thing as well. And finally, the world name Blame, but this seems like a child guy, a son of Nikki, Ron. It was pretty for a little bit weird, but I guess every character was probably ugly. Because of some sort of minors, let's use for finding out in the user comics. And I cannot believe this isn't going to be for trying this. Not for all of this thing as well, so we're gonna be trying to find somewhere else. But there is only for one thing as well. And so the double L design and turn into some sort of into a monster. Because I'm not very sure this isn't going to be for a real Pokemon design like this. This could be for Dandy's World reference. And yes, this is absolutely Dandy's World reference. And let's go into be getting for the oldest in one, as we're going to be find this out as well. So we still need to find for a little bit as well. So the oldest one is the Laza, was actually for this thing as well. So I'm absolutely going to be returning for around here for this thing as well. So in the newest runs as well, it's only able to load for a while, and it's absolutely pretty appearing for around here. Oh my gosh, what in the world is going to be going on around here? So something isn't going to be for one thing as well. And I cannot believe that wasn't going to be for itself for only one thing. I cannot believe this isn't going to be a little bit inappropriate as well. So, I never dare that we're finding somewhere that I cannot believe it for one thing. So we could not able to be headed out for the ratings, and I didn't believe this reference couldn't be for actually like this. Turns out that some kind of for only one thing is Sprunky reference, or some kind of Dandy's World reference is going on around here. This is pretty awful in this comic studio, and it's absolutely not pretty for one thing as well. So this is actually for the first thing as well, and probably another one for this some kind of another design. And this isn't going to be for such as one uneasy status as well. So the status is absolutely pretty ungood as well. And that means Sprunky reference could be everywhere. And I do not believe it that we're going to be tallying for this thing as well. So probably I'm not pretty sure that probably for some sort of South Asian reference. This is not going to be for a little bit of giving as well. That wasn't going to be for such as like this as well. This could be for a unknown stickman person, and I would not be able to be leaving for such as only one thing. But this is absolutely not the base for this thing as well. And this is actually for an older brother like this. And I couldn't believe it. And we didn't able to be finding out for self go. So let's go for the top ratings and see for this thing as well. Who absolutely going to be post someone, and it wasn't going to be for taking for how pretty it is. So the most top rated like those things is for the overpowered, like the overdorable of this thing as well. This is actually for one here for the OC's backstory. So this is specifically, and this is not going to be for such as a little bit as well. More Sprunky reference and also features around with this from Battle for Dream Island. Anyways, that was probably not going to be a little bit good from browsing comics of for this comic studio like anyways. But sometimes that features around with submitted sprites almost everywhere that some kind of big images are going on around here. Catch a Life reference? That must be could be another one as well. And probably for such as even more. Oh no, that was even worse than I never expected around here. Oh, wait, there could be another one. Oh my gosh, he got shot. That I just never seen this before. And that must be gonna be the end of the line. And we're going to be fine all the way for this thing as well. But nothing for submitted sprite is going on except one. But it has, for one thing, is going to be surprising party as well. Pretty ridiculous, dude. Oh my gosh. Another one could be from around here. It's also nothing. Oh wait, is it also nothing? There it is. And the backgrounds could be for the Mental's room. That features a little bit for a while. So I'm not gonna be at it for one thing is whenever to do this as well. When Parfait Cookie was been here in the future, because there's only one submitted sprites on the backgrounds. But let's go for the studio crossovers for around here, and this is absolutely for the most topped things as well for the original comic creator as well. So I definitely found anyways as the Cookie Run Comic Studio, and I'm never definitely going to be for around for here. So here we go. We're going to be started around here that I never be able to be find out. So I'm probably here for probably the future like this. He'll be actually for some other kinds of this thing as well. So this is absolutely for over here, and here she is. And I forgot to download the Angry German Kid. So that was probably it for it to do so as well. And if you're going to be seeing for this one possibly thing, as we never was able to be saw for like this, and the link is going to be in description for some sort of the worst comic studios ever thing as never before. And I have decided that I'm going to give this comic creator to 3 out of 10. And it's absolutely for a 91% worse, or something like an 88% worse, by the way. This is actually for a little bit for one thing as well, because no best of like this, and resulted for around 21% at best like this, for some sort of like for the probably rating for around here for somewhere as well. As you might gonna be checking out of this comic creator right here, if you're a bad guy over here. But unfortunately, this could be resulted for an 18-year-old only to access this comic creator as well. But don't worry, the link is going to be in description to browse some comics. Could be absolutely for everyone. And also, thanks for watching. And that will be it as well. And I'm going to be seeing many lads and comic studio users all later, as I'm going to be signing off until the next video.